This is your dad's face every time he sees you, and this is the face y'all make when you gotta rely on your right hand after being single all your life. Luckily for this guy though, he hit the jackpot and found a cheat code. So now bro calls himself Chad while going after every girl he lays his eyes on, including the girl of his dreams. All he has to do now is to just basically look at them, and the rest is history as he whips out his galactic sword, ready to destroy her planet Venus. Now in prime position to activate his domain expansion on his first ever target, we find out this sussy baker's name is Mango, exactly like the vegetable. He's a washed-up baseball player, so he's basically a water boy bench warmer now, and his life has turned upside down after his parents suddenly passed away less than 2 years ago. However, while overseas in America for training camp, he accidentally got lost after running away from a bunch of American neckbeards. Eventually, he lost the neckbeards and conveniently ended up stumbling upon a very old baseball bat at a random abandoned farmhouse. Seconds after touching the baseball bat, out came a genie laughing like a maniac who's busy shouting out loud about how nice it feels to finally able to let out some gas after being stuck inside for so long. And since this isn't no Disney movie about Aladdin, Mango ends up with a racist ghost that looks like the Walmart version of John Cena, and it happens to be super racist too. So now Mango is stuck with a spiritual being that keeps calling him a monkey, which no one else can see. But he's also super annoying as it keeps trying to make a contract with him to unleash his powers. Now me personally, I'd be quick to make a wish or to craft a contract with the ghost, but for some reason, our homie decides to do nothing at all and act as if nothing peculiar has happened to him. Even with his bench warmer spot on the line, he just trudges on like a depresso SO, even though he could change his entire life within the snap of his fingers. Luckily for him though, the Fire Nation attack as he gets unsuspectingly ganked at practice by an 11 out of 10, looking a lot like trouble. Her name is Choi Hyuna, a superstar volleyball player at the same university athletics team as his, who also happens to be his first ever love in elementary school, so you already know this guy has been crushing on her super hard. Anyways, Mango's heart gets shattered when Hyuna came over just to call him a loser for not being on the field, and for also not having any mythical fruits and blocks fruits. Regardless, our bro doesn't even care, he just got made fun of by his only crush, since this simp is just super happy that Hyuna finally came over and acknowledged his existence, so it's a win in his book. Fast forward to a couple hours later, Mango decides to take matters into his own hands after getting banished from his training sessions for being an absolute donkey, so he starts to practice at an abandoned shed. But this guy is so bad at baseball now that even the ghost began to cosplay what's it like to spectate your bronze friend that's last alive trying to 1 versus 5. Eventually, he runs back to his team's training field when he hears his coach angrily yelling his name a mile away since it's time for the water boy to clean up before everyone heads back home. To make matters worse, the coach makes the first years on the team watch Mango clean up all by himself, while actively stopping anyone from trying to help him out. Now utterly ridiculed and humiliated in front of the team, the only thing bro can do is act like a beta, but the ghost urges him to stop being one as he mentions it's time to finally get a grip on his life. Spoiler alert though, Mango didn't do anything to stand up for himself like a real beta and proceeds to put away all the training gear after cleaning up. But just as he makes his way to the closest equipment room, he stumbles upon Hyuna again, who looks like her personality has increased quite a bit depending on the angle, and she even happens to still be in uniform. Although she called him a loser earlier, she gets super angry at him and pushes past him when she tries to flirt with him. But Mango ends up fumbling the bag for not getting the hint. This dude fumbled the bag so hard that even the ghost had to come out to call Mango the dumbest bag of bricks he's ever seen as he explains to him what exactly he missed out on. Of course, bro argues with the ghost whilst totally still in absolute denial. So he goes back inside only to find his phone still recording from his practice swings an hour earlier. However, as he looks over the hour-long footage, his banana tree instantly sprouts from down under when he discovers Hyuna in his video, and let's just say his mind is about to be blown from what he has discovered. It's then revealed that the reason Hyuna was so frustrated with him earlier is because he couldn't help her let off some steam as he catches her on video going choo-choo by herself without anyone else around the equipment room. Mango then begins to shake as he keeps replaying the video over and over again, unable to believe he was able to capture such a sussy moment by total accident. Now that bro is watching Hyuna with what seems like invisible potions used on the entirety of her clothing, the ghost mentions how he was right, and this is proof that Mango fumbled the bag harder than James Harden. But when the two rewatch the footage with sound, our homie begins to cry while the ghost stayed absolutely still when they realized Hyuna was yelling out the name Wonho. Eventually, the ghost couldn't stop himself from hysterically laughing when he saw Mango bawling his eyes out while bro had the audacity to also cry using his banana tree while watching Hyuna, if you get my drift. After erupting his volcano for his science experiment while watching Hyuna, bro walks back out with his head totally down in shame as he, nor I, cannot believe he just right-handed it to his crush, while his crush was busy thinking of someone else. To add insult to injury, Mango still cannot get over the fact that Hyuna would choose someone with a smaller banana tree plantation than he has, so he's probably still in denial since how else would he know unless he's a supreme sussy baka. Nevertheless, the ghost is tired of Mango bawling his eyes out the entire day, so he steps in to try and cheer him up, but he still calls him a monkey anyways, whilst ordering him to stop being a backup bench warmer since no girl wants to bang someone coming in last. Suddenly, a burst of energy flows through the ghost, allowing him to get bigger, where he then takes the opportunity to convince Mango to make a contract with him that will allow him to get all the girls he wants as he can turn him into a superstar baseball player. But in return for giving him crazy baseball powers, the ghost wants him to emotionally link together when Mango does some rice cake smashing with all the 11 out of 10s, allowing the ghost what it feels like to finally give freedom to his old hot dog again. Now that deal doesn't sound too bad. Mango just has to share the feeling of doing some rice cake smashing, so he's quick to agree to the conditions as he wants to get revenge on Hyuna and everyone else that has treated him like absolute trash all these years. And so from this day on, these two are about to deal a whole new meaning to best friends as they are about to tag team their way to sussy Olympic victory. Fast forward to the next morning, Mango decides to go through with the plan of switching his position in baseball from shortstop to second base as advised by the ghost, since the ghost turns out to be an old school baseball player from back in the day, so he's basically a mega boomer. The coach is quick to approve his request as he thinks Mango is just going to bomb out from his new position. So right before Mango is dismissed, they get interrupted by the coach's wife. But since the ghost is American, he gets super shocked, unlike Mango, that a bombshell like the wife that just walked in with large badonkadonks would somehow end up with a raisin-looking old ugly man. Rumor has it that the reason why the coach's wife suddenly quit from tennis, even though she was a superstar tennis player, was because her large blue eyes white dragon was dragging her down. Now, speaking of those giant twin dragons, the wife takes note of Mango, who's busy showing her some respect since we all know John Cena right now is busy staring at some glorious personalities right in front of him. Nonetheless, after Mango introduces himself to the wife, she introduces herself back as Hyjin before quickly ignoring him as she sets up in a very sussy position right in front of Mango, busy asking the coach to come back home as she needs help with a brand new fridge delivery. Unfortunately for her though, her husband refuses to leave the training grounds to help her out, causing Hyjin to get disappointed with him, so she tries to compromise by asking that he could at least send one of his players out to help her in his stead. Originally, the coach wasn't going to send anyone out as it's a training day, until he remembered that Mango was still in the room, so our boy ends up getting stuck missing training for another day, but it looks like he might actually get some prime opportunity to train something else. Now sensing the prime opportunity for Mango to try and Willy the Wonka of the wife at his coach's own house, Mr. Ghost tries his best to get Mango to not blow this opportunity, all pun intended. And so just like that, the sussy turntables seem to be turning already, even with the contract signed less than a day ago, as the wife shoots Mango with a very subtle direct eye contact. Fast forward a couple hours later, Mango gets dragged to a very posh apartment complex where he ends up lifting your typical Samsung fridge inside his coach's house, while Hyjin shows him where to put down the Wi-Fi-based fridge. As he slowly moves the new appliance to the perfect spot Hyjin wants it at, she starts to give Mango more sussy looks whilst also telling him to stop calling her ma'am as she'd rather be called mommy, Nuna. Eventually, Mango is able to perfectly place the new fridge at the #1 spot in the house, so he's finally able to stop breaking his back, but it does seem like someone else's back is about to blow, and spoiler alert, it's not going to be Mango's. Nonetheless, after accidentally mentioning that his back hurts a little bit out loud, Hyjin begins to close the gap between the two while looking super worried that Mango might have hurt his back, so she mentions that a man's back is their entire life. However, as she takes a closer look, Mango tries to deactivate her sussy trap card, and reminds her that she's an athlete after all, so there's no way he would accidentally get injured while picking up such a small fridge. Mere seconds later, Mango can't believe his eyes when he sees Hyjin teleport to the bed nearby, who instantly falls for his moving fridge rees, so Hyjin shyly asks for him to massage her backs, and she apparently might have tweaked earlier after being all alone. It was at this very moment the ghost got super excited as he knows this is a signal for some intense rice cake destroying. So there's no way Mango could screw this up, so he urges him to step up his game, causing Mango to agree to do a little sport massage. Upon seeing Mango easily agreed her request, Hyjin flips on the bed to get ready for the massage while also flashing our boy with hope, as it turns out she's showing off some of her downtown curves hidden right behind her curbside pickup line. Elsewhere, back at the university training field, the coach yells out for Mango, but his players let him know that no one has seen the loser around, so it seems like something might be up, but he just attributes it to Mango being weak as heck compared to everyone else. Back at the apartment, things are heating up more than the Miami Heat as Hyjin keeps ordering our boy to keep going lower, to the point that bro is just straight up getting a handful of cake, and it seems like Hyjin's bakery is still in prime fit condition. Eventually, Mango takes note from watching a bunch of Hot Ones episode and ups the Scoville levels by going underneath Hyjin's armor, so she ends up telling him that it might be her turn to return the favor. With the Sussy Fire Nation now attacking, Mango lays down on the bed and shares his senses with the baseball goat, totally expecting to get lucky even though he still isn't a superstar yet. And what's even crazier is that this is his coach's bedroom. One blink later, Hyjin asks him to put on some invisible potions on his clothes as she thinks this would be better for the both of them, while giving him the come to mama look as it's time for her to cook.